That's what I like to hear. The was that?
It's merging the footage.
What does that even...
So, like, audio is separate. Guys, welcome back to another podcast, another Timeless Tuesday here. This one's going to be very excited. I'm excited to get back into these. Not that I ever left, but it is summer now. So now it's like unlimited time, unlimited podcast, even though I missed a day. So let's just get straight into today's podcast and let's talk. Well, let's get our guests in here, okay? Please welcome Miss Claire Richardson.
Here I am!
Now, for those of you that do not know Claire, my sister was in Spain for like 6 months. So she hasn't been able to do a podcast, and I actually took over her closet space.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
So I figured I would return the favor and have her on the podcast. Right? Because that's equal. So today we're going to be talking about her trip to Spain. Questions for her. Why are you laughing?
I don't know.
So this is her.
Okay.
Let's just jump straight into it, Claire. We can snap, we can clap, we can dab, we can whip, we can look at the Timeless Tuesday. How do you want to enter the intro?
Let's not dab. We can do this one. What is that?
That's a whip.
Or this one. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, the whoa? Okay, I'm going to
But
throw
I
it
can't
up,
whoa.
and then, okay, so then you throw it up, and then I'll hit it, and
Okay.
then it will go into the
Okay,
intro.
ready? Set.
So you throw it up. Why did you shake it like a dice? Okay, try it again. Try it. So, guys, I'm just excited in general. Claire, you're back from Spain, and that's always fun. She's losing her crap right now, which is what I was going to get into,
Okay.
is because she's back, and Claire and I work out together. We did a lot before she left, and that's kind of like a routine between both of us. And it's very... Hold on one second.
Okay, you can just cut this out, right?
Yeah, but I'm not going to. Okay, so Claire's laughing because yesterday in the gym she thought about me falling for some reason, and like she was laughing her ass off for that, and I don't understand why, but she just was. So there's that. Claire's just a very overall vibrating person.
Vibrant. I like that term.
Well,
More like vibrant.
yeah, that's what I
A little
meant.
ball of sunshine bursting.
Yeah, okay. Let's just get straight into it. So on my Instagram, if you guys haven't followed me,
And mine too.
and Claire's, we posted things to ask Claire about her trip to Spain because she's been there for 6 months. You went from what? So let's just give them background here. So you left for Gonzaga for study abroad, and you went to Granada, Spain.
Yeah, I was there for 5 months in total. So from the very beginning of January to the very end of May was my program dates, and then I traveled for a week afterwards. But yeah, overall it was a really good time, and I was there for school. We traveled a lot during the time for school, so we had school planned trips. We also did our own trips too. Yeah, we visited a ton of countries, a ton of different cities. So yeah.
Good.
Do I look at you or do I look at the camera?
You should talk to the mic.
Okay.
They're there, but like we should just talk to the mic. Okay. Anyways, so let's just jump straight into questions.
Okay.
Because that's what I'm down to. So Zoe Perrin asks, what was the weirdest thing that someone did that you saw them do? Quoting her.
In Spain?
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
I don't know if it's the weirdest thing, but in the U.S., people don't, like, this is kind of weird, but in the U.S., dogs, like, poop, right, like, in the grass or on the sidewalks, and people pick it up. But in Spain, like,
no one picks it up.
No, but it's illegal there. Like, here it's not illegal. Here, if they poop and it's, like, whatever, you just walk away from it, and, like, everyone's kind of like, that sucks, but, like, no one's gonna, like, it's not illegal. But in Spain, it's literally illegal if you leave it on the ground. Yeah, but on the streets. But they just do it because they have people that come and clean all of the streets every single night in Spain.
Wow.
Just something kind of different.
Wow.
Yeah.
Emma Hazel. Fave cultural experience. Spain.
Cultural experience? I'm trying to think. There's gonna be some like laugh you'll have to cut out too, but
no.
Like yes.
No.
You can't make me look dumb, Cade.
Look, she's stumbling on a question. Oh no, what are we gonna do? It's a podcast. It's not a video.
I know, but
Can't cut.
well,
Now you're just wasting time.
This is awkward. 'Cause I just said that. Okay.
Mhm.
Favorite cultural experience? Italy. I think that Italy. Okay, so Spain and the U.S. have a lot of similarities, and so do like all the countries in Europe. You know, because it's not like they're like semi like first world countries for the most part. But Italy was just like a very cool cultural experience because I felt like everyone was super nice, and people like stereotyped Italians to kind of like be this like mean stereotype, but it's not. I didn't think it was like that at all. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't think it was like that at all. I mean, everyone we met was like super, super sweet and nice. I think it was interesting too because our Airbnb owner didn't speak English at all, and so when I had been messaging him on the app, we were talking in Italian because I would like go write what I wanted to write and like Google translate to Italian and just send it to him, So I'm sure it didn't make 100% sense.
Yeah, that is.
But he like just thought so when I got there, he literally thought I spoke Italian and started speaking Italian at me, and I was like, I have no clue what you're saying. And then he had this app, so I would speak into it in English, and it would like leave in Italian and like vice versa. So we had to speak through an app like the whole time because I couldn't understand him and he couldn't understand me. So that was a very like. That'd be very hard. It was like cultural shock too, but it was just it was like one of my favorite like experiences for sure. Like different culture than Spain.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know if I could. It seems sketchy though that you just like talk to him on the. And then
yeah, but
because Google Translate isn't always accurate.
No, not at all. And I having now like speaking Spanish, like seeing what comes out of Google Translate, you can tell when it's wrong. But so I'm sure with Italian, I was like wrong a lot what I was saying, but I had no other choice. Yeah, so I just kind of left it the way it was.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Lewis wanted to know how many feet pics did you sell to travel?
0. What the? What kind of question is that?
I don't know. Colby Don Schaefer asked, "Did you miss him?"
Yes, I did miss you, Colby.
And then all very important questions. And then Melanie asked, "What are you bringing?" Let me be concise on this. What are you bringing from your experiences into your life since your travel, if anything?
Yeah. I would say, I know I talked about this a little bit beforehand, but I would say that the life in Spain is a lot slower. Like you eat meals together as a family.
Take a lot of naps.
And you take time to sit down and you really eat and like enjoy your food and talk to your family and friends, and like that goes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the most part.
Yeah.
And the life, like you walk and you can be 15 minutes late to whatever you're going to typically because you walk and you run into people and you talk to people and you catch up on their day. It's not just like a hi, how are you? It's like a hi, how are you? How was your interview? How was your mom's dinner last night? How was, whatever. So I think I'd bring like that type of like slowness, but also that type of like very like more intimate relationships. I think I'd bring that back into my life here in the U.S. because here it's constantly very busy. You're constantly doing something, jumping from the next thing to the next thing, driving to the next place, doing the next interview, writing the next book, like doing constantly
you get up
doing
and
stuff.
Go, yeah.
Yeah, and in Spain it's a lot like slower and you have more time to enjoy your life.
One of my teachers said too, which I follow this, which kind of goes into that, is that we move past things so fast. So like, but we don't stay in the moment for things. So like winning or like achievements. Like we don't sit in them enough.
Our accomplishments.
Like we just go and we just try to do the next best thing, which is good, but I think it's also bad. I think it's important to sit.
And that's why I think a lot of it, you see like the U.S. is a very successful country for a lot of reasons. And one of that is that we're continually progressing and moving forward. However, there's a lot of drawbacks, and there's a lot of people who have a lot of money in the U.S. but are very, very unhappy people. And in Spain, like, of course there's unhappy people everywhere, but for the most part, I mean, everyone I met, like, seemed very, very content with, like, their life and who they are and the money they make and, like, what they're doing because
they don't all strive to
is
be
about,
the best.
Yeah, life is about living in the moment and enjoying yourself, not constantly trying to, like, progress. Because progression is good, but also can be, like, inhibiting in some ways, too.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Also, she asked another one. What was the most valuable thing that you learned while there? Was that it? Does that tie into it?
I think that would be like, the same thing pretty much.
Brennan99.
Brennan
Weiner asked, what will she be in Superstar 2?
I don't think so. I feel like get kicked out, right? Like character gets kicked out.
Yeah. Have you seen it? That's the real question.
Superstar 1.
Yeah. Riley, Relk. What's their culture like, and how is it different from the U.S.? Well, we kind of just touched on that.
A little bit,
But go into deep culture.
A little bit more different. Well, okay. Yeah, so that's a big part of it. The other big part of it is just, like, The importance of family. Family, you never really get left alone in Spain. Your family is constantly there and, like, constantly present. And, for example, my grandma, so my Spanish grandma, Libe was always there helping us cook. Like, if Sandra ever had to, like, my mom, if she ever had to go somewhere to work on, you know, a project or whatever it was, Libe was always there cooking and helping Chachi and cleaning the house and doing things like, and it's not even, like, she was asked to come over and help. She just does it without even, like, whatever. Everyone has keys to everyone's houses. Like, it's very, very, you know, very open in that culture. I'd say also, there's a huge importance on, like, food, which in the U.S.
I don't know if we touched on this, but she stayed with a host family. I don't even think did we say that?
No, yeah. So my experience is a little bit different just because I did live with a family, and there were kids I knew that lived on campus in dorms, not from my program, but from different programs. And I think that I wouldn't say, like, one is better than the other. I'd say they're just very different experiences. And so you get to meet kids your age who are living in Spain and experiencing things. However, kids their age also speak English, you know, where my parents didn't even speak. I mean, they spoke, you know, very minimal English. So did their sisters and brothers and moms and dads and whatever. And, but if if you're living on a college campus with teenagers, most of the time they're also going to speak English, be studying similar things, et cetera, which will make it, you know, just a different experience. It's not necessarily like worse or better.
Is it inconsiderate to speak English in, like, a household if you go?
I don't know. Like, I wouldn't say inconsiderate. I would say it's not, like, common, because the idea when we were there is to speak as much Spanish as we can in order to progress the most in 5 months that we were there. But of course, Julia and I, like, my roommate, we would have conversations in English, because sometimes it's just, there are things that I could fully communicate it in Spanish. It would just take me a lot longer to just say it flat out in English, you know, especially if it's, like, something that's difficult that you're going through, or you're sick or whatever. It can be difficult to try to convey that in a different language, because it's just one extra step your brain's going through in order to, you know, talk and just have a conversation. So I wouldn't say it's inconsiderate by any means, but I'd say it definitely, like, changes things. And then again, also Sandra could understand parts of our conversations, but I also speak very fast, and so she couldn't always understand everything, because people in English can't even understand me all the time, you know. So that's also a different part of it. But I did with the host family. It was really, like, rewarding and a very good time, and I learned a lot, and learned a lot more of the cultural aspect of Spain by having lived with the family. Yeah,
that's important. But yeah, I know I was asking that because I feel like some people always
think it's just like a college campus.
No. Well, okay, sure, but I mean, like, for speaking English and Spanish, because I think when you go to those cultures, you're supposed to, like, immerse yourself and not be, like, not close-minded, but
close-minded, no, because it is that way. And it's like, there was, like, this thing we did, and there's, like, this 7 or 8 steps of, you know, cultural acceptance almost, basically saying, when you minimize things and say, like, okay, well, the U.S. is better because of this or whatever, or like, when you, like, separate yourself from the culture, like, called, like, polarization, you know, there's all these different steps to get you to finally be, like, accepting of the culture, but then also participating in the culture and of their cultural norms and cultural ways. When you go to a restaurant, for example, when you walk into a restaurant and you sit down, they're not going to walk up to you and start serving you. Like, typically, you're going to have to call them over and say, hey, like, I want this or whatever, and you tell them they give it to you. But once they give it to you, it's your job again to find them and flag them down to get the check. It's not like here in the U.S. where it's constant, you know.
La cuenta, por favor.
Well, yeah, but a lot of people had.
What is that?
The check, please.
Yeah, see,
but a lot of people had issues with that, and they're like, well, their service here in Spain is just bad. It's just bad. Well, it's not. Yeah, but it's not bad. That's just how it is there, you know. So same thing, like in Spain, people walk, like here in the U.S., like people walk super super fast. You know, no one ever stops for, like, you know, red crosswalks. You know, no one ever stops. And people just go. And in Spain, it's not like that. Everyone stops and kind of waits, and people walk slower. And a lot of people who are American typically find that annoying because, like, well, move faster. Like, I got places to go. But it's like, but where are you really going?
Because we're all trying to,
Yeah, it's just a big race, and then Spain's just not like that.
Yeah.
At least from, like, what I experienced in Granada, because Granada's a city of, like, 30 or 300,000, I think, people. And so, but if you go to Madrid, which is, like, the capital, it's a lot bigger, and it's a lot more fast-paced. And same thing with Barcelona. You know, like, they're just a lot bigger cities, a lot more fast-paced.
But that's how it is, like, in the US,
compared to Coeur d'Alene and New York, yeah.
Okay, another question from Sam. Now, this one's important because, personally, I feel like this is a valued question. How do the foreign men compare to U.S. men?
I didn't really meet that many foreign men, to be honest. Like,
I just hung up a FaceTime audio call.
From who?
Ellie.
Oh, sorry, dang
Ellie.
it. I needed to answer that.
Well, okay, sorry. Claire had a phone call, so.
It's a business to take care of.
Did you have fun?
Yes.
Please tell me all about it.
Yeah. I did have fun. I wouldn't have done. Someone asked me the other day about like what I would have done differently, and honestly, I don't think there's anything I would have done differently. I think that traveling with friends is so fun, and traveling with big groups of people is really fun. You have to learn something. I mean, we learned every single trip. We learned something new, like better times to fly, how to get to the airport, how to get through airport security better, how to just every
you got a lot of travel experience.
And it's like traveling in Europe. I mean, for anyone that's ever been to Europe, they probably can attest to what I'm saying, but it's just a lot different because the security is just so much less, and a lot of the airlines, you fly cheap airlines, which jack up luggage prices and just all these like small things you don't really consider, because in the U.S. it's just flat out just not like that. It's just not, and that's fine, but it's definitely like a huge learning curve sometimes, and planning Airbnbs and planning hostels, and hostels don't really exist in the U.S. That's like a whole other thing. So I don't know. It was a really good experience overall.
Brothels do though.
Well, yes, but
which is almost the same thing.
No, it's not even close.
Okay. Then, what was the biggest culture shock you've experienced? What shook you up the most?
Shook me up.
Is there a bombing in Spain?
That's awful, but no.
Okay,
I think the biggest culture shock that I experienced was definitely when I went to Morocco in Africa. We went to Africa for the weekend, which sounds weird, but we did. It was like for like a 3-day weekend we had for school. Yeah, I think that was the biggest cultural shock I experienced because
you rode a camel.
I rode camels on the beach, which was really cool. Yeah, that was really fun. But then also it's just that like the way they live there is just so much more humble. It's just so different. Like everything is just so different. The culture, the religion, the people, everything. I mean, most people there can speak 4 languages. You see
4?
Mm-hmm. Because most people there can speak French first, because that's their government language. If you're not like higher up, I would say like in the society, if you're not, in the government
Africa?
Or like doing a business. No, in Morocco. In Morocco specifically, if you're not like a business owner or that type of thing, you typically don't speak French, but a lot of them do because it's their language of like commerce. And then also a lot of them speak Arabic because that's like their language of that region. That's also just like I think most of their religious aspects of their lives are in Arabic. A lot of them speak English because to speak English is basically to survive, in the world. Unfortunately, a lot of times now it's like you have to speak English in order to like be successful. Not always, but God, that sounds so awful. I don't know how to word it. It's just that like.
Did you go to the pyramids?
No, that's not where I was at. Morocco's at very, very top of Africa.
I don't even know
where Morocco is.
Wait.
You can insert a map.
Sudan.
Not close. Morocco's just the very top of Africa.
I know.
I don't know.
No, that's fine. Morocco, yeah, okay. But where are the pyramids? Egypt.
Giza.
Oh, yeah.
Pyramids
I took a pill in Ibiza.
Not the same place. Ibiza's part of Spain.
Yes. Ibiza.
A lot of people went to Ibiza that were in my program.
It's a song. It's a beautiful song, too.
I don't think it is.
Favorite place you visited? Morocco?
No. That was like one
Venice?
of the coolest experiences. Yeah, maybe I think Venice. Oh, I don't know. Because Amsterdam was so cool, too.
Oh.
And so was Paris. Okay, Paris was a little bit overrated, not gonna lie. Paris
Really?
was cool, a little bit overrated. There's just...
Why was it overrated?
Because it's just so Americanized. I don't know, like I
guess.
In the worst way. Like if
for the touring?
Okay, for example, one big thing in America, or in the US, is that all the cities here typically are built for cars. Like the roads are big enough, they're built for cars. There's not like a lot of weird alleyways, whatever, And Paris was the first time, I would say probably, one of the first times in the 5 months that I was there that I heard like honking and car noises and stoplights and screeching. Like that's something I had not experienced in 5 months, because every other city is just not like that. And Paris, because it's such an old city, but it's because it's grown so much and such a big city of commerce now, it's so big and there's constantly cars, which is just so weird because I just wasn't used to that. Where in Venice, there's literally no cars. Like it's only boats and only water. Yeah, boat police like going down the alleyways.
Was there boat police?
There was literally boat police, boat ambulances, like. Yes, everyone owns their boat. Boats just like sit in the canals.
Everyone owns a boat.
And everyone boats to work, or like you get on like the how we like.
Wait, why can't you just walk?
Well, you could walk, but it takes a lot longer typically.
But don't they have a rowboat? Doesn't have a motor, right?
No, they got motorboats. Like. No, like not like like speedboats. Like with speedboats. I think that's what they like.
They do not have speedboats.
Yes, they do. They literally have like.
No way.
Like, yes, they have speedboats, and they speedboat through the waters. Yes. They have the gondolas is what you're thinking of. They have gondolas, where the guy stands up and sings and that. Yeah. We went on one of those. But the people who own speedboats, yes, they do. They have like big motors and they're like little boats. They do, and they have those to get to work. And then they also have like their public transportation. Yes, I do. Their public transportation is like literally a boat.
I know,
like a huge boat with everybody in it.
Their canal though.
They're big, Cade. They're not small.
I know, but they're
not like little straight jets.
You can't why would you put a speedboat in there when people are going like this? They'll literally fall over.
No, because they're typically different canals.
Have you seen the movie Italian Job? You watched it with me.
Yes.
Mark Wahlberg?
Those are the boats. They use like the speedboats.
Those aren't speedboats, honey. Speedboats are...
Yes, they are.
Speedboats. You know what speedboats are?
Yes.
Look on Coeur d'Alene Lake.
That's the speedboat. That's what they have.
Remember when they're really loud?
Not those ones. They have like the smaller.
They're not called speedboats.
The smaller version of speedboats.
Do you remember the tin boat that we used to have? Not the pontoon, the tin boat, in Minnesota, with the thing on the back. What's that?
Like Timbo T. What's his name? What's his name?
It doesn't matter. That's not what we're doing.
What's that?
Claire, stop. No, but those aren't speedboats. I understand what you're saying, but I hate to correct you, and those aren't speedboats.
Okay.
Speedboats do not go 5 miles an hour. Speedboats go like 1,500 miles an hour.
No, 1,500 is a lot.
Well, okay, but they at least get up to 200.
Okay, well, I take it back. There's no speedboats in Italy, but...
Because oh, man. It doesn't matter, but like it's not speedboats.
Okay, but it's like the Italian Job. Can you see me so?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatever.
That was your favorite place.
I think so. Yeah. I don't know. It was one of the coolest ones. Amsterdam was really cool too. Amsterdam was like there was culture there.
I feel like, but can't they? Isn't weed or something's legal there?
Mhm. Weed, prostitution.
Prostitution. That's what it was.
Mostly almost all like not all drugs, but like a lot of drugs. It's kind of like a free for all.
Did you ever go to nightlife anywhere?
What do you mean?
I know in Granada you did,
what
but
does
like.
That mean?
Like,
what do you mean,
like
did
Amsterdam?
I go to nightlife?
The nightlife, the club there?
No. Okay, we did not go clubbing in Amsterdam.
No, did you?
By the way,
that's not what I meant.
The drinking age is 18 and I'm 19, so I could drink there, so it's legal. Don't get all.
You didn't even say anything, and I don't think my audience is gonna go. Oh.
But yeah, no. Yeah, no, we didn't do the nightlife. Like, we didn't do the clubbing nightlife in Amsterdam.
Not clubbing,
but we
like,
did do, like, we went out to bars.
Because I feel like it's sketchy.
It's not sketchy. It's like, it's the same thing as being, like, the nightlife, like, that is life.
So then, did anybody
like,
come up to you
with
you and your friends and be like, thought you were prostitutions? Or?
No, God, no. We weren't dressed. It was cold because we weren't dressed like, like in like skimpy like clubbing clothes.
That's probably good.
Yeah, we were dressed in. God, we were dressed in. I mean, I had on like a dress and tights and a scarf and a big coat, and I mean, it's cold there. It was a little chilly up in the northern part.
What was that? Well, how cold was it?
It's cold.
When did you go to Amsterdam though? Wasn't that
March.
Towards the end?
No, I went to the beginning of March. Well, the beginning.
February, May.
Was it March? Yeah, end of February, beginning of March.
That would be cold.
So
Why did you go to Amsterdam in winter? So where'd you go? Granada?
Where all places that I went.
So where'd you go first? Granada,
well,
obviously.
Yeah, Granada.
What was your first trip?
First trip was to Huskar. If anyone from Huskar is watching this video,
Huskar?
You know what I'm talking about. Huskar, yeah.
Huskar?
Huskar.
Whose car?
Huskar. Huskar. And
why do you say that?
Because there was only 6 of us that went to Huskar. The town had literally like 200 people in it in the middle of the mountains.
Dude, shout out to Huskar.
We were basically camping and
I know I'm saying it wrong.
Yeah. And then Huskar. We went to Barcelona. We went to Brussels, Belgium. We went to Amsterdam, which is the Netherlands. We've been to Malaga, which is a city in Spain. We went to, what was after that? We went to Sevilla, which is also in Spain. We went to, after Sevilla was Morocco, Africa, and we went, you have not counted all of them.
Yeah, you're at 9.
Okay, I don't, all right.
This is 9.
This doesn't look like 9. What, Coyote?
This is 9.
No, it's not.
You're at 9.
Okay,
Why are you arguing with me?
Okay, we went to Gibraltar, which is technically in the UK.
10.
We went to... Okay, so that was Morocco at the end of March. Then in April, we went... Where did we go to
In
for school in
April?
April? I don't know. But then we went to Prague, which is in the Czech Republic. We went
How was that?
Fine. Everyone talked it up. I didn't think it was anything cool. And then we went to, I don't know. And then we went to Croatia. Then we went to Venice and Milan, Italy. And then we went...
Milan. Fashion show? Did you go to a fashion show?
No, we just flew into, like, Milan. We flew into the outside of Milan, and we were there overnight, and then we left the next morning for Venice.
Oh.
And then we were in Venice, and then we went to Valencia, Spain. Then we went to Madrid for 5 days, and, like, Toledo and Segovia in Spain. And then I went to Paris, France, Nice, France.
Nice.
And...
Get it?
Mm-hmm. That's just a lot of saying things.
What?
If anyone has any questions, they can always reach out to me about, like, traveling in Europe or just about, whatever.
Or prostitution in Amsterdam.
Yeah. Things like to do, safety tips, whatever.
Safety tips.
Super
Wear condoms.
Oh, God.
Oh,
don't
you
put that
hit
in there.
It says that my card's full, so I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why it says that. It shouldn't be full. But hey, pick your feeding.
You can't see us anymore, but I love you guys.
You can't see us.
We'll just insert photos of us talking.
This is just easy. Yeah, we'll just take pictures. We'll do like a stop motion of us talking. I'm not going to do that. I'm not. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time on Timeless Tuesday. Please subscribe if you're new. Leave a like. Drop a like down below.
Cade will put all my social media stuff in the comment box.
Guess I
Is that
would.
what it's called?
It's not called the comment box.
The description box.
Yes.
Put it in the DB.
No one ever calls it that.
Well, drop all my things in the description box. And
that's not even a thing.
Follow me, like.
Just share the video, please. What'd you say?
Nothing. Okay. Bye, guys.
Yeah. We'll see you next time this Tuesday. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, ASMR.
You want to do boyfriend ASMR?
Boyfriend ASMR.
You just lead us up to me. I can show you my world. We can go through it all. You just leave it up to me. Take a trip to the stars. I can show you it all. You just leave it up to me.